Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, Rising Oblivion. Today, guys, we have some recent news regarding Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. It's been such a long time since we've actually heard anything or had any trailers or anything regarding this game releasing in the West. It's already came out in various other places. It's come out in China, I think Korea and other places, but we have not seen a Western release date for this thing or any information from Atlus regarding this thing, sort of whatsoever. It's been kind of nuts, but it looks like GameWare might have accidentally leaked the release date for this game, at least giving us a month towards where this game actually will be releasing. So GameWare has on their website that there is going to be a release date for Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster for May 2021, which honestly does not actually seem too far off. That does seem a little bit far away. I mean, all the way in May does seem kind of too far for a game that they have said is pretty much done. The game is ready to go. We're just sort of waiting on release dates for it and for it to be shipped. But there might be some reasons as to why that they're holding this game for so long and why we haven't heard so much about it. But let's first go over what GameWare has leaked in the past and whether or not we can see this sort of thing, I guess, as credible. So GameWare did leak the Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory release date, which ended up being true. So we know that they have leaked stuff in the past that was going to be correct. However, they had a leak from Breath of the Wild 2 to be releasing in first or second quarter of 2021, which does seem sort of strange. I don't think that is something that is going to be true. I mean, they really haven't said a whole lot about Breath of the Wild 2. Last year was really the first little inkling that we had of it. We haven't really had any trailers or anything for it too much either. So for this game to be coming out second quarter 2021, I don't think Breath of the Wild really makes sense for that to be something that's happening. Maybe that's just a placeholder date. Maybe that's a little screw up in their system or something like that. But we have to keep that in mind when we're talking about the release date for SMT 3. If they're going to be messing up something else, they could very well be messing up the SMT 3 Nocturne HD Remastered, release date as well, pretty much. That's something that they could do. But, so they have been wrong, and they have more than likely, been right, because KH Melody of Memory was correct for their leaked release date. So, who knows? Breath of the Wild 2, I don't see that coming out, second quarter. I guess it may. It could potentially, I guess, come out then. I don't think that's something that's going to happen, but that is a very, very unlikely thing to happen. So keep that aware whenever we're talking about the credibility of GameWare and whether or not this leak could be potentially true. However, May 2021, I think this sort of makes sense when it comes to SMT3 Nocturne HD Remaster, and there might be a reason why we've had a little bit of a pushback when it comes to anything regarding this game, because we might be seeing another Striker situation where this game is going to be releasing on PC for the Western audience, because SMT3 might as well be on PC. I think it could work just as good as something like Persona 4 Golden or something as Strikers has done. So many people have told me that they've either double dipped or they're going full on PC for Persona 5 Strikers. It's not a big, catch for them to think, you know what, might as well release this thing on PC as well. The PC thing has been rumored for such a long time. It only makes sense for them to do this. So that might be why we're seeing a little bit of a hesitation from Atlus when it comes to them and talking about this game in general. I wish they would at least just say sort of what's going on or give us some projected things. Like, oh yeah, it's still second quarter. They at least give us some reassurance, I think would be kind of nice, but it's alright. Or at least something maybe from Sega, something from them. I mean, they've done so well when it comes to the Yakuza games. Let's get a little bit of feedback here when it comes to SMT3 and a little bit, Persona stuff in general. I guess their big thing right now is Persona 5 Strikers. They might not be trying to divert your eyes away from that and make sure that people buy that first, which might also be why we're seeing, a little bit of hesitation from them to talk about this as well, because they're trying to come right off the back of Persona 5 Strikers. Persona 5 Strikers is going to be a very big hit here in the West, because just how big Persona 5 in general is, for Strikers to now come out, they might be trying to give it a little bit of time to have some breather when it comes to the release date of SMT3. If they're releasing both, back to back, that might be bad for marketing and for business to have to try and clash both of those things together. I think a lot of people are going to place, Scramble or Strikers, here in the West, Strikers. But, I think a lot of people are going to literally beat this thing in like a week or two. I think a lot of the hardcore fans are going to be doing that. But you have to also think about the casual fans as well, guys. We're not like, everybody else where they beat the whole game in a week. A lot of people just like to take their time, just chill and relax and play them. And that's absolutely fine. So we have to keep that in mind when it comes to marketing and the release date for things. And we don't know what could be holding up that PC port. As we've known, the ports have been a little bit janky. They've been a little bit this, they've been a little bit that. It's not always been 100% perfect, and it looks like the SMT3 Nocturne HD Remaster might be coming directly from Atlus themselves, so it might not be a third-party deal like we've been seeing with stuff like Persona 4 Golden. So there might be, you know, some in-house work which could also slow things down for the release date of SMT3, you know, when it comes to it releasing in the West. It more than likely will release everywhere as well when it comes to PC, but I honestly think this is a pretty cool idea. From what we've also heard, there's not going to be any steelbook for this game, so there's probably going to be a lot of digital downloads, so a Steam release does sort of make sense. We're going to have a decent catalog now. SMT jumping to Steam is a good step forward for SMT games now as well. If they're willing to put that on there and kind of see how that goes, they might be sort of testing the waters for what it could be like to release more SMT games on Steam as well. We might end up seeing more of these types of things happen. I think SMT, you know, 4 on Steam would be good as well, but that's kind of hard to say considering how you sort of, you know, those were DS games. It's a little bit harder. I think having something from the PS2 was a little bit easier, like Persona 4 Golden, because it's just a one-screen type of deal. You're not dealing with two screens. It's a little bit easier to actually manage a remaster, I think, like that. When it comes to actual hardware limitations, basically, is the whole reason why we might not see certain things like that. It's like when the Kingdom Hearts series was starting to do their remasters. It's starting to make sense as to why it's, you know, just a movie for something like a lot of the other handheld things for the Kingdom Hearts remasters. So that might be what we end up seeing in the future for those types of games. But SMT3 Nocturne HD Remaster does work perfectly for PC. It's something that, you know, could work. It's a PS2 game. If they could put Persona 4 Golden on there, if they could put SMT3 on there as well. It doesn't make sense for them not to be able to put this also on Steam as well, and I'm really excited for that. Hopefully we'll hear some more stuff about SMT5 this year. I know a lot of people in the community are pretty, you know, split 50-50 as to whether or not it's even going to come out this year or it's going to be pushed to 2022. Who really knows? I am an optimist. I really hope it does come out this year. I would love to see that come out this year. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for this. So overall, guys, really it's sort of hard to say whether or not this is super credible, because GameWare has done something good for a leak in the past, or so-called good. I mean, it's probably bad for them. I'm not sure if they actually meant to do that, but it looks like we have some credibility because of that Kingdom Hearts Melody and Memory, you know, leak, and then we also have them talking about Breath of the Wild 2 being leaked, which doesn't seem very likely at all. Supposedly this month we were all supposed to be getting the actual official release date from Atlus themselves, talking about Nocturne actually coming out. So expect a video on that in the future, guys. I will definitely cover that. There is a good chance this month we might end up seeing something like a trailer or an official statement or something along those lines coming from Atlus talking about SMT3 Nocturne HD Remaster. So that's something to look forward to, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. As always, click that bell. You can, you know, get notified whenever I go live again. I've been streaming a lot of Catherine. I think I'm going to switch to Persona 4 Golden. Subscribe to the channel whenever you want to be notified. Whenever, you know, new stuff comes out, I'll always keep you up to date on everything Shin Megami Tensei, everything Persona, everything from Atlus, JRPGs, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, all that kind of good stuff. I'll always be able to keep you up to date. The best place around, baby, you know it. As always, thank you so much for watching.